Lamar Jackson avoids it areas. He's got to throw it. Directing traffic. Pump fake. Now throwing. End zone. Back corner. Still good. Incomplete.
So many things happened in this game that are unexplainable. And it all added up to a Browns win. This one's for you, Jim Donovan.
Indeed, that one was for Jim Donovan. The radio call at the end of a remarkable win yesterday against a very good Baltimore Ravens team. The Browns dedicating that win to our own Jim Donovan. With that, we say hello again, Northeast Ohio, and thanks for spending time with us here on 3 News at 5 alongside Betsy Kling. I'm Jay Crawford.
Yeah, it's been a little sad this weekend. We're, still have so much joy in our heart that we all got to know and work with Jimmy. But all weekend long, there has just been an outpouring of love for Jimmy and his family all around the city of Cleveland. Of course, here in the studios, we are definitely mourning the loss of Jimmy Donovan with you.
Absolutely. Jimmy passed early Saturday morning after a brave and lengthy battle with cancer. Jimmy was 68 years old, a legend, a true giant in our industry. His loss is being felt across Northeast Ohio, but also the sports world tonight.
And the Browns really stepped up. They honored Jimmy in so many ways yesterday during the Ravens game, from the flowers in the broadcast booth with his picture to his name on the billboard hanging high over Huntington Bank Field. There was also a moment of silence for Jimmy before the game got started. And fans went from being in tears for Jimmy and cheering on the Browns at the same time. Many of them thrilled with the outcome of the game, but obviously missing Jimmy too. They wore T-shirts in his honor and held up signs and carved pumpkins for him in the Muni lot.
And tonight, in about 2 hours, the Terminal Tower in downtown Cleveland will be bathed in the colors of orange and brown for Jimmy. K&D Management Group manages the Terminal Tower. They pick the overnight color schemes each evening for Terminal Tower. Graciously, they are lighting up the building in Browns colors tonight, and that is for our friend Jim Donovan. Here's Nick Camino now with more in our Monday Sports Report.
This sports report is sponsored by the people-pleasing people at Sarah Chevrolet in Akron.
Hey, good evening, Jay and Betsy. I mean, is there any other way to explain yesterday's Browns game against one of the best teams in the NFL, the Baltimore Ravens, other than that Jim Donovan had a hand in that victory? Just an unbelievable game, unbelievable the way things went down. And then afterwards, I believe that this was my favorite part and a lot of Browns fans' part. How about this? Right after the game ended, Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski and general manager Andrew Berry, they raced out to Hinckley, Jim's home, and gave a game ball. Yeah, a game ball to his family there. You see his wife, Cheryl, his daughter, Meghan, right after the game ended. I mean, they were able to post this so quickly after the game, hand-delivered that, and Kevin Stefanski told Jimmy's family, this is for Jim. That was such a nice touch by the Browns. First-class organization with that type of move, and there is no doubt Jim had a part in yesterday's win. Speaking of yesterday's win, can we talk about that for a second here? Early fourth quarter, the great Justin Tucker, he missed a field goal. Then a minute to go. It looks like the Ravens have an easy interception here. Kyle Hamilton somehow drops that ball. He's had like one-handed interceptions. He drops that easy one. Very next play, look at this. Jameis Winston goes up top to Cedric Tillman, who had the game of his life. That's a go-ahead touchdown. Last chance for the Ravens. How many times have we seen Lamar Jackson pull a rabbit out of the hat and do something incredible? But no, doesn't get it done here. His pass falls incomplete, and the Browns are able to stun the Baltimore Ravens 29-24. The Browns were almost a double-digit underdog in this game. They win 29-24, and Browns players still talking about Jim after the win.
I had chills, standing before the national anthem, just hearing his play-by-play. And obviously I know the significance that he is to this organization. So I'm very honored that Coach Stefanski, he said at the beginning of the day, like that all he would want to do, yesterday he said all he wanted to do was give a game ball to Jim Donovan's family. So thank you, Jim, for all you've done for this organization. You are continue. My prayers, your family is going to continue to be in my prayers. And I'm just happy we were able to do that for him and his family.
I mean, just an emotional day, really, for Cleveland sports fans, for Browns fans, for all of us here at Channel 3, an emotional weekend to cap it off with that kind of victory. There's Hollywood scripts, Jay, that would not follow that type of script because it just felt like unrealistic. But I think Jim definitely had a hand in that. We talked about them needing about 50 different things to go their way in that game, and somehow, some way, they did.
It's really incredible. There were so many turning points in that football game, particularly late when you mentioned it, and I thought you said it so appropriately. We've seen Lamar Jackson create magic time and time and time again. They'd said just as he started that drive, he has 11 game-winning drives in his last possession. And you're watching this unfold, and it really was a magical day. And I think no play signifies more that Jimmy had a hand in this than when Hamilton has the ball in his hands on a Jameis Winston pass. It was thrown right to him in his hands. And then the game is over. That would be it. There would be no game-winning drive for the Browns. And the ball inexplicably pops out. And as soon as that happened, I stood up and screamed, "That's Jimmy." That's our guy right there, making sure that they get one over a team that nobody gave the Browns a chance to beat.
Just amazing. I think he was blowing the wind too on the Justin Tucker field goal. I mean, how many times have we seen Justin Tucker make an easy 50-yarder, misses the field goal? Browns in that game, unbelievable.
Yeah, it was quite a thing, and we're not done. We're going to talk about Jimmy. I know Betsy and I later in the show will share some of our personal remembrances of our late friend Jim Donovan. And Nick, thanks. We'll see you soon. Here at WKYC, we're dedicating an entire hour to Jim Donovan, our 7 o'clock newscast tonight. Jimmy's old time slot right here on Channel 3 will be in Jimmy's honor. We're going to look back and reflect on his life and his incredible career, and we'll hear from those who knew Jimmy best. It's an hour-long special, again, tonight right here on WKYC.